Most companies spend $50,000 on a trade show exhibit and put untrained people inside it. Exhibitor Magazine says that 85% of exhibitor success comes down to booth staff, but only 26% of companies actually train them. That means that 74% of your competitors are skipping the one thing that matters the most. And after 30 years on the show floor, I've watched that gap cost companies an entire quarter's pipeline. In this video, I'm showing you what top teams do differently and the biggest staffing mistake I see at show floors. Once you notice it, you will see it everywhere. Number 1, train your booth staff before the show. And I know this sounds kind of obvious, but believe me, it's not. Remember that stat from just a few seconds ago? Only 26% of exhibitors train their staff. So even 1 hour of training puts you ahead of roughly 3 out of 4 companies on that show floor. And training doesn't have to be complicated, folks. Getting your team together before the show and just answer 3 questions. Who are we trying to meet? What do we say when we talk to them? And what counts as a qualified lead for us? That's it. Most companies walk into the hall without agreeing on any of those 3 things. And everyone stands around wondering why the leads are all over the place. Your booth staff is your company's first impression. Decide how you want to be represented before the door opens, not after. Number 2, stand like you're open for business. This one costs you nothing, and it changes everything. Picture yourself walking down an aisle at a trade show. On your left, a booth where the staff is sitting down, arms crossed, and staring down at their phones. And then on your right, a booth where people are standing, facing the aisle, smiling, and making eye contact. Now, which booth are you going to walk into? Exactly. Nobody wants to interrupt somebody who looks busy, bored, or annoyed. A smile and open body language are basically a welcoming sign for your booth. And eye contact matters more than most people think. It shows confidence and respect, and it tells the person walking by that you actually see them. It's a long day on concrete floors and everybody hits a wall. So rotate your staff, schedule breaks, and protect their energy like it's a resource. Because it is. And real quick, if you're finding this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps more exhibitors like you find us. Number 3, win the first 5 seconds. This is where most booth conversations die. Someone slows down near your booth and a staff member says something like, "Can I help you?" Or, "How's the show going?" And the attendee just says, "I'm just looking," or they just walk by and don't even say anything. Sound familiar? The problem is those openers are too easy to brush off. You've done this a million times every time you've gone to the mall looking for something specific and somebody working there asks you that question, "Can I help you?" People answer them on pilot the same way you do at that mall. So don't wait for people to approach you and don't open with a yes or no question. Engage with them first with a question that actually is about them. Something like, "What brings you to the show today?" Or, "What's the best thing that you've seen on the show floor so far?" You know, they've got opinions. They'll be more than happy to open up with some kind of conversation. Or you can even get a little playful with it. One of my favorite ones is, "If I can save you 6 hours a week, would you spend that time with your friends or family or neither?" Keep it about them. Be brief, be casual, have a little bit of fun. Your goal in the first 5 seconds, it's not to sell them anything. It's just to get a conversation going. Number 4, use a pattern interrupt. A pattern interrupt is just a fancy way of saying that you're going to snap somebody out of autopilot. Think about what attendees are doing out there. They're walking past hundreds of booths, right? And they all start blurring together. Their brain is basically on screensaver mode. Your job is to break that pattern. It can be an unexpected question like the ones we just covered. It can be a spinning prize wheel, a sound, a demo happening right in front of them, or your team like dressed up like they would be, like their attendees world, like instead of wearing a stiff corporate uniform, unless that's really their world. A good pattern interrupt is often the difference between a packed booth and a boring day of watching potential clients just walk right by you. You're trying to earn a split-second decision. They look, they get curious, then they stop. That's the whole game. Now, by the way, I've put some helpful resources in the description and the pinned comment below. Go check those out when you have a few moments after this video. Number 5, treat every single person the same. Now this one is my favorite, and it comes with a story I'm happy to tell. I call it running your booth with a golden rule in mind. Every person who passes your booth deserves the same respect and attention. The potential customer, the janitor, the forklift driver, someone whose spouse just happened to tag along, even the delivery guy who's bringing Uber Eats to the booth next door. Every single person. Here's why I believe this so strongly. Years ago, I worked at an outdoor Ironman event. My team dressed in athletic gear to match the attendees' world, and we treated everyone who came near us like a VIP. It didn't matter who they were or if they were even a buyer. Everyone got our full attention, a smile, and a real conversation. It was so busy that we felt guilty going to the bathroom and taking a bathroom break. We literally ran there and back. And here's the kicker. We lost the full day to torrential rain, and we still broke the company record for demos and overall sales at the event. We beat the old record by about 25 to 30%, and that record had originally been set by the head of sales, who'd been there for almost a decade. It wasn't the booth that did so amazing, it was the team. We hustled and we listened, and we gave whoever was in front of us our full attention. You just never know who someone is, who they know, or who they'll become. So treat them all like they matter, each and every one of them, because they do. Number 6, work as a team, not as 5 different solo acts. A great booth runs with intention. Everybody knows their role, their signals, and their exit line. And that starts with designating a booth boss. Think of it as a captain steering a ship. Someone keeps everything on course, manages the crew, and turns chaos into strategy. Then set up a few team plays. Agree on a private signal your teammates can use to politely interrupt and take over a conversation when you're stuck with someone who isn't a good fit. You're going to run group demonstrations when you can so that multiple people and multiple visitors can hear the answers all at once, and then they can feed off each other. And have a polite exit strategy, especially for those tire kickers. Something as simple and easy such as, "Oh, it was great meeting you. I don't want to keep you from the rest of the show. We'll be in touch." That lets you move along your tire kickers and get back to real prospects. The best booth teams move people through with warmth and intention. You're not being rude, you're being professional. And hey, quick question for you. What's the best or worst opening line that you've ever heard at a trade show? I'd love for you to drop that in the comments below because I read every single one of them, and I might build a whole video around the best answers. And if you're new here, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button below so more people just like you can find these real world strategies. All right. You stuck around, so let's talk about the biggest booth staffing mistake I see at trade shows. Badge swiping without qualifying. Here's what it looks like. A company sets a goal like collect 500 scans, and the staff turns into a scanning machine. It's swipe, smile, next. Swipe, smile, next. Swipe, smile, next. The lead count looks amazing for sure. And then sales spends the next 3 months chasing people who are only there for the free pen. I know this mistake personally because I made it at my very first trade show. It was at RSNA in Chicago at McCormick Place. I was young. I worked for a bank and we leased money to municipalities. I know it sounds super boring. It kind of was. And I had zero preparation. I was so unprepared and so nervous that I hid behind the reception counter as much as possible. And our big strategy was a badge swipe competition. Whoever scanned the most badges won. No qualifying lead questions and no system, just numbers. Yes, we filled the pipeline with deadwood, and if you have seen The Wolf on Wall Street, you will know what deadwood is. And I learned the hard way that a stack of scanned badges is not the same thing as a stack of leads. So here's the fix. Before the show, define what a qualified lead actually looks like for your company. Then give your team 2 or 3 qualifying questions to ask in every conversation. And then measure your conversations, not scans. Because 50 qualified leads will beat 500 random badge scans every single time. Once you know this mistake exists, you're going to spot every booth that does this. Just watch the booth where the staff are scanning everything that moves and every single thing with a pulse. Now you know what their sales team is going to be dealing with this next quarter, and you will not be jealous. Do that and you'll outperform companies that are spending 10 times what you spend. And if this was helpful, gently tap that like button and check the description and the pinned comments below for those helpful resources on this topic. And if you're still here for more learning experiences, then be sure to tap on that next video. You'll be glad you did. I'll see you over there.